Welcome to the Sharpside podcast with
Jacob
and Thomas.
Hello and welcome to the Sharpside episode 6. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Jacob.
And we would like to just say, first of all, we do apologise about last week. We did not have an episode out there. We had some technical issues and we had some episode problems. But we are back again for episode 6. And the special guest for this week is the one and only, from Absolute Radio, Mr. Dan Noble. Hello.
Hey guys, you alright?
How are we doing? You alright?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Very well.
Good. Right, radio. Tell us more about it. Like, when did it start for you?
Radio. When did radio start for me? My dad was a local radio presenter at a local station called Radio Jackie, which is in Southwest London.
Yeah.
So my earliest kind of memories of radio were watching him present shows and, run the desk and ride the fader and hit the vocals. And I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And so that was my first kind of experience of radio. A pretty cool experience.
Brilliant. Yeah. Early breakfast as well. How do you find the early mornings of that? Like, when do you have to get up? When does that alarm have to be set and everything else?
It's very early. I'll be honest, there's no set time. I just kind of sleep when I can. So I do early breakfast at Absolute Radio. I have done for a few years now. And I try and make sure I have a life around it as well. So if I've got a gig on, I'll still go to the gig, or if I'm seeing mates, I'll still see a mate. Because let's face it, lads, it's only radio. It's not. We're not saving lives. There are shift workers that are doing much more important things than talking between songs. So I just sleep when I can. To be honest.
Nice.
And it works for me.
Nice. How's life been at Absolute Radio as well? Since you started?
Life is good. Life is good at Absolute Radio. I've been there since for a very long time. Well, it feels like a long time, since 2019. I was 21. The youngest person to be on Absolute Radio, which is something that I shouted about a lot in the early years, and now I'm 28. I shout about it less. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun. I started covering. I've done a few documentaries there. I got weekend evenings, and then it's been in earlies for the last few years now.
Yeah, you say 28 makes us feel young, doesn't it, Thomas?
It does, yeah. Makes us feel
thanks,
young.
guys. I'm still young. I want to clarify that. I'm very much still young.
I'm 22 this year, and that's just scary. That just makes me feel sick saying it. Yeah. 22, my gosh. I want to just touch on as well. When did you fall in love with radio? When did you fall in love with it? Did you have any other career paths before radio, or did you just straight into radio, Dan?
I'd say I fell in love with it as a teenager, listening to Ian Lee on Absolute Radio, which sadly you guys were probably too young to be aware of that.
Yeah.
That must have been early 2010s. And he used to do a late night show on Absolute. It was something like 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. And I used to listen to it at night. And my parents would come into my room and go to sleep. So they just hear me giggling. And it was a phone in, very, very different to what commercial radio do now. It was music, but also it was a phone in show. Very funny. With his producer Eloise, who still produces at Absolute, and I see her very often, and she's brilliant. And so that was probably the first time I really fell in love with radio. It was it was so creative, so funny, so rude, so naughty. And so that for me was like, oh, this is cool. This is pretty badass. So yeah. It was I guess 15 years or so ago. Brilliant.
I've seen on your socials as well, 30 under 30. Tell us about that as well.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. It's with the artist formerly known as the Radio Academy, and now the Audio Academy.
Yes.
So they'll do the arias. They put on that event, and then they put on events all around the UK called Foot in the Door events. I don't know if you lads have been to one. You should definitely go. There was one in Salford a couple of years ago.
Yeah, one in Bradford as well. I've been to the Bradford one.
Right. Yeah. Where are you? You're at Salford, right?
We're at Salford, yeah. We're at Salford.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're great. And then every year they recognise 30 people under the age of 30 who work in audio essentially. And I was recognised in the latest one, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And just amongst some really, really great people producers, editors, journalists, proper
Great, yeah.
workers, and then a
Yeah.
few of us presenters were there as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it's a very it's a real privilege to be part of it.
Sounds like a great achievement as well.
Yeah.
To get up to that point, I think.
Thank you. It's
Definitely,
something that it's something that a lot of my peers have had.
Yeah.
So to be amongst it, it does feel good. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Also as well, I would like to touch on too. For like me and Jacob are at student radio as well. We're at Utter Radio, we're at Shock Radio. We've done community radio through the past as well. What advice would you give younger people who want to get into the radio industry and get onto the a station like Absolute Radio? What advice would you give them today to get into that? How would they get their self there? Is it about radio demos? Is it about everything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are doing the first thing right, that you're doing radio, community, and student. I didn't go to uni, but like I would have loved to have done student radio.
Yes.
I think it's such a kind of a wicked thing to do, but also a really cool way in. Like a lot of my colleagues, in fact, all of my colleagues, I think, did do student radio. So you're doing something right in that respect. And then you've obviously got your student radio awards to work towards. If I was a student, I'd really kind of see them as real kind of goals, and like obviously do your weekly show or whatever it is you do, but really kind of work towards those award nights, even if you're not nominated, but going there and meeting people and meeting other presenters, but also meeting radio bosses and getting advice, and really make the most of, like, I don't know where the SRA Con is this year. You guys might know.
Yes, it is in Salford.
Oh, amazing!
It is in Salford.
Okay, yes. So that'll be really good.
It has been announced, hasn't it, Ollie? Yeah. Oh, I just mentioned short. I thought I leaked something then. It has definitely been.
Sharpside exclusive.
It has definitely been announced now. It is back in Salford for the second time running with Shock Radio, the host of it again.
Amazing. I mean, that's a great opportunity to meet people who work in the industry, isn't it? And get advice. But like, if you guys, your question about getting into, like, say, Absolute Radio, for example, is this in the capacity of presenters? Is this where you're thinking?
Yes, to be honest, yeah, really. Also, too, I would say, yeah, really, yeah. So
what I did was, so I was doing community radio, and then I did local radio as well.
Yeah.
And I just kept on emailing the then boss of Absolute Radio, who's still the boss of Absolute Radio, Paul Sylvester.
Well, Absolute Radio is like one of the stations I listen to, as well as Radio 1. I listen to Radio 2 at times, but I'm going towards either the Absolute Radio or Radio 1 2.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, yeah, it's just a case of like contacting, for you guys, like producers and program controllers, and being like, look, this is some audio of what I'm working on at the moment. Would love to get your feedback. That's kind of like the big word, is like feedback or advice. It's never, can I have a job?
No.
From my experience, it's always like, you know, you're wanting to learn from people who've done it for a very long time. Ask advice and to take on advice. That's the other thing. If you send some audio and they say it should be more like this and this, or I think it should be like that, then I know this sounds obvious, just then do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then, you know, at least you're showing that you're kind of taking on advice. So yeah, a demo is where to start. 3 minutes maximum, your best work. We can talk more about demos if you want, but it's kind of like no weather, no travel, just like good content. Send it to stations that you think it's gonna. Is
it right in saying like listen to your first 30 seconds of your radio demo should be the best bits, what people are doing, what the industry is going to listen to?
Yeah, I guess. Yes. I mean, like, imagine it like if you're scrolling on TikTok. I don't know about you guys, but my attention span is like a matter of seconds. Yeah. If I don't like it, I'm just going to move on. And it's no different to that, really. It doesn't mean you need to. The first thing doesn't need to be something really big and really shouty, really get their attention. But you know, it could just be something that sounds slick. It could be something that is just interesting. But like if you're sending Absolute a demo, for example, a demo to Paul Sylvester. And you're talking off the back of Dua Lipa, and you're saying about what happened in Love Island, and then you're going into bloody, I don't know. Jax Jones. Is Jax Jones still a thing? I've not done pop radio in a long time.
Jack Jones is still a thing, yeah.
Jax Jones.
Yeah, you know what? He hasn't brought a song out in absolute ages.
One of my
has he, really?
favourite artists.
Yeah, Jack
Oh,
Jones.
there we
Phil
go.
Corey as well.
All the best.
Yeah, all the best. Yeah.
But like, if you're doing that type of content and sending it to Absolute Radio, they'd be like, well, it's all well and good, but we don't play these artists.
No.
You know, that's not our thing. So like, really think of who you're sending it to and why.
Suit it to the station, I guess.
Yeah. Just show you've done a bit of homework, you know, and you like simple
definitely.
things like, you know, who's on, you know, the name of the boss, stuff like that. You know, just a little bit of research. It will go a long way.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, what got you into the radio industry, Dan?
So it was community radio. It was I was a teenager and a community station had started near me, and I loved listening to it, like the radio. I loved listening to it back then.
Yeah.
It would have been Absolute. I was listening to a lot of actually, and mostly Absolute.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to give this a go.
Yeah.
And I was studying audio, like music tech at college.
Yeah.
And I knew loads of bands. I went, I want to get these bands on. I want to do this like a kind of BBC introducing type of thing. So I was doing that, and I did that for like 6 months. It was great fun. And then I picked up some work as a travel reporter on a local station. And then from that, I then started working presenting at a local station in Brighton, producing on Fixed Radio, which was just in London at the time.
Fixed Radio. We've had Dan Draper on actually from
Yeah,
Fixed Radio too. So yeah.
Nice.
We had him
Yeah.
on the last episode.
Amazing. And then lots of emails, and then I ended up doing the evening show on Kerrang Radio for a couple of years.
Kerrang play a lot of like rock music, isn't it, and stuff like that.
Yeah, rock and metal and punk, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the kind of conventional way. Not that there's really anyone, but of like community, local radio, and then national.
Yeah.
I appreciate there's not a lot of local radio now, so it would be a little bit different. But essentially, from doing lots of shows, messing up a lot, sending lots of emails, and here we are, you know.
Yes. How is Absolute Radio for you? Is it the station what you wanted to be at, or did you have any other stations in mind, or is Absolute Radio the one?
Yeah, I mean, it's the station I always wanted to be at. And so when I started covering when I was 21, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I thought I'd be waiting till I was 31 to be here.
Yeah.
You know, the average audience age, I don't know the exact figures, but would be in the 40s. The average presenter age.
Yeah.
And I love them all very much, but they would all be nearer to 40. So I am, despite your guys' allegations that I'm old, I am still young.
I was only joking.
So
Jacob, how rude of you!
That's so rude.
So no, I've always wanted to be there, and I'm very happy there.
Yeah.
And it's a great station, and I love music, and like we get to talk about music, and we get to talk about it with passion, and we get to do documentaries if we want to, or I get to interview some really cool people, and I feel very fortunate to do so.
Your Instagram reels, what you keep on putting on Instagram, I thought the one about if radio presenters have to go to the toilet, we get a bottle. No, we actually don't. This is how you actually do it, and that was very I thought that was quite funny actually, to be honest.
Thanks,
I thought,
mate.
that is actually a quite a good reel, quite good content.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to like do some more kind of behind the scenes stuff on TikTok, a little bit more on TikTok than Instagram. I did one a couple of weeks ago that is done pretty good on the figures, and you start noticing when you're doing well is when you're getting people hating on you, because then it's like, oh, this isn't my audience. This is people beyond my audience.
Yeah.
So I saw that quite as a good sign of I'm doing something right. And essentially it was people going, why does anyone listen to the radio? So that's always a good sign. But yeah, so I do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff.
What made you want to put stuff on social media? Is it just to help people out, or is it just like you want to put yourself out there as well as a person, as a radio presenter?
Am I talking to Thomas or Jacob here?
Jacob
is because we all want to be famous, mate.
We all want to be famous.
No, it's not.
We want to be famous. Yes.
We're presenters. We've all got egos. No, it's because partly it's because I do get asked some questions about being a presenter, and I thought it's quite a good vessel for it, you know. But part of it is because the more I can increase my following, the more attention I can get to my show at Absolute, and it all kind of works in a loop, doesn't it? You know, so I've got
and there's also
very
presenters out there who have a huge following too, and they're on the radio now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we going to name names?
No, we're not. We're not going to name names. So I don't want to get into trouble. There's some presenters there what have got a huge following. That's why they're on air.
Anyways, go on. You got to name names.
No, I'm not naming names. No.
This is going to sit on the fence.
Yes, we'll sit that on the fence, Dan. But yeah, carry on.
So yeah, and like, you know, I enjoy using social media, so I thought, well, I might as well kind of start taking it a little bit more seriously myself as well. And if it can either educate or entertain, or piss off some people that don't know, I'm happy either way. I don't care.
But yeah.
So true.
So true. Yeah. Have we got any other reels you're coming out with, Dan, or like have we? No, to be honest, I really love. That's why I asked you to come on as well. Because I thought, oh yeah, Dan Noble, Absolute Radio, thought he's doing some really good behind the scenes content, and I didn't realise how big the Absolute Radio studios were. Yeah, they are quite like one big spaceship again, aren't they? But yeah,
it's cool. Yeah.
What software do you guys use? Is it Zeta?
It's Zeta.
Yeah, Zeta. Yeah.
We're getting really nerdy.
We are indeed. Yeah, we are indeed. Zeta.
This is geeky stuff.
Did you do like any crucial rolls or any segs through your show?
It's. I mean, I could show you. Do you want to see a show log?
Oh, let's do it.
Can I share my screen on here? Is that possible? I don't really know if this works. Share. Can I share a screen? Oh, I can share a screen. All right. Oh, hang on, wait one there.
Before you share a screen, though. Some listeners might not even know about radio or anything like that. So this is like a bit of a behind the scenes on what happens in radio. It's not the presenter what pulls up at the seat, plays a few music and chat for a bit. We actually have to do some work before we go on air. And Dan is going to show you the show log. And when we say crucial roles and seds, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, show us the show log if you can, Dan.
When Thomas says crunch and rolls, I get excited.
Thomas, that was a great throw forward. Very, very good, mate.
Yeah.
Let me. All right, just bear with, and I'll get because we've got. Do you guys use Zeta?
We use Zeta. Yeah, I use Zeta and Highlander.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Highlander. Do you ever use Zeta to go?
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting it up on the screen now. So I'll show you my show tomorrow. Okay. God, this is geeky shit, boys. Let me see if I can make it work. All right, are you seeing this?
Yes, we are.
I am seeing
yes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to Absolute Radio.
Glasses on for this one.
This is my 4 o'clock hour, the first hour of early breakfast tomorrow. Starts with the news, then a few songs, and wherever there's it says empty voice track. That's where I'm talking, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm talking to New Arctic Monkeys. Someone's got to play Imagine Dragons. I've got Foo Fighters, Kings of Leon, so lots of good tunes.
Foo Fighters are quite good. They performed in Manchester the other night, actually.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links that hour.
Yeah.
One of them, as you can see here, is like a station cell or a live read.
Yeah.
And then other than that, it's kind of more or less whatever I want to do. Which is good fun. I can't quite remember how we got on to me showing you this screen. Was there a question, or did I just get carried away?
No, we just got carried away, I think.
Okay,
fine. Also, as well, like you just said earlier about crunch and rolls and stuff like that. Do you want to explain to us listeners, Dan, what is one?
Yeah.
We'll let the professionals teach you.
Yeah. So I don't do a great deal just because our lengths are a fair bit longer at Absolute Radio. We've got like 45 seconds to talk.
Okay.
It's roughly that, but like a crunch and roll is what you'd hear a lot on like Capital.
Yes.
Or Kiss or Hits, which is that kind of fast pace. Traditionally it would be during the outro of a song, but a lot of songs don't have outros, do they? They just kind of stop like that.
Yeah.
But it would just be kind of like a straight out of the outro, then you're talking over the intro of a song, and it just kind of sounds very slick. It's that kind of real American thing, which came over here at some point.
Yes. I'm trying to think of the presenter what brought it over here. From America.
Well, to be all of the pirates would have done it.
Yes,
Do you guys know about Pirate Radio?
Pirate Radio. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so like...
I did a documentary back in my college years.
Oh, cool,
Of
cool,
that,
cool.
And yeah, and also I did a full-on weekly breakfast show for my college project. So what I did is, from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. it weren't like the 6 a.m. because I had to go through the college hours as well. So I had like breakfast shows, I had show logs, I had clocks. So every time I finished one show, I used to go back into the newsroom and do prep for my next show, and so on and so on and so on. So it felt like I was producing. I produced, presented, I edited all the jingles, and did all the research in one day to get it all sorted for the next day. But like, it was very, very hard work. I only got a merit like that, but it was a good mark. It was a good mark.
Not good.
Sounds knackering.
Yeah,
sounds absolutely knackering.
It was knackering. It was like, oh my god. That was 2 weeks as well, and for, oh my god, I cannot wait for Friday to come. So yeah, but no, yeah, that's what a crunch and roll is. What like features are on normal breakfast shows? Like, do you have a feature on your early breakfast, Dan?
No, not really.
No,
I'm
not
not
really,
really particularly big on kind of like timed features. The just for the time I'm on. But like throughout the day there are some features on other shows, but no, not on mine.
But no.
I can think of early breakfast as having a coffee and a croissant.
Yes.
In hand, just in case. You need it.
What time do you have to get over anyway for early breakfast, Dan? Is it quite? I think we've touched on this before, but I just thought to go back to it.
Honestly, as I say, it's all over the place. It depends day to day. Yeah. I mean, there's been times where I've just kind of powered through, which have been the less good shows. I'll be honest. But yeah, it really depends. But yeah, you'll be asleep, or you'll be on your way back from night out. It'll be at some point.
Yeah. Talked about night out. Talked about nights out though, and this was actually quite funny. A presenter I know, he was going to work. It was one of my lectures from school, and not from school, from college. Sorry, I don't know why I said school then. And he was going to work for early breakfast. He came back, and there were a bunch of teenagers were just coming back from a night out, and he thought it was so hilarious. I thought, I'm just going to work, and they're just coming back from a night out.
It's an odd one, like especially usually like by Friday, because people have gone out on Thursday, and I'll be like making my way in, and there's a road where there's like I can't remember the road name, but one of the roads that I'm in central London, and there's a club that clearly has like a clear out policy around about 3 a.m. and like people are there just kind of sat on the side of the road eating their kebabs. I'm like, wow, we are living different lives. So yeah, it's funny being awake at that time, but I enjoy it. And like the type of people who are generally awake at that time because of their routine are like, a lot of them are like shift workers or like paramedics or lorry drivers, or I've got chaps who are working on oil rigs in the middle of the sea that get in touch. So like it's interesting being awake and knowing what other jobs require people to be awake at that time, you know.
Yeah.
That must be a funny feeling.
Must be a funny feeling. Must be.
I
could not do early breakfast, to be honest. I could not do breakfast.
No.
Good, it's mine.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah. Okay.
We've recently had a graduate from the University of Salford, Matt Halsworth.
Who's
currently
yeah. He's a good lad. Yeah. Good friend.
Yeah.
Have you seen him around?
All the time. He's been producing the breakfast show over the last few weeks, and I was doing home time over between Christmas and New Year, and he was with me for some of that. Yeah, he's a really good guy.
It was on our first episode of the podcast.
Well, I was going to say he should come on, but
I think we're going to get him back on again to see what he's getting up to now. But yeah, this was back when he first left and graduated university here at Salford. We're gonna try and get him back on again and see how busy he is. But unfortunately, it might have to be on Teams this time and not in person.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might be up for the SRA, so we
could actually get him on there. Yeah,
good.
But I think I met Matt maybe up in Salford when I was doing like a Radio Academy type of event a couple years ago, 18 months ago or something. Maybe it must have been a couple years ago. So that kind of goes to show of the contacts you make when you're in student radio. You know, he would have met our bosses back then or at some point around then as well, and clearly made a very good impression.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, but no, he's doing great. He's doing great. And to be honest, Dan, you're doing great as well.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you so much for coming on this episode. And do you want to tell the listeners where they can listen to you on Absolute Radio?
Yeah, you can listen to me every morning on Absolute Radio before the Dave Berry Breakfast Show. But if you want to hear me at a more sociable time, every afternoon on Absolute Radio Naughties from 1 until 4 p.m.
The Naughties music.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So,
and have you got any socials as well? Instagram, TikTok?
Yes. Annoyingly, I think I changed my TikTok name a while back. I know, and I was trying to be clever, but my Instagram is just at Dan X Noble. My TikTok is at Dan Chats Music. But just type in Dan Noble, you'll
Dan Noble, and you'll be able to find all the behind the scenes if you want to see the behind the scenes of him in the radio studios or anything else. Last of all, Dan, I would like just to touch on, what is anything happening for the future for you, or is it just plodding on Absolute Radio?
Well, I am not talking about the exact details yet, but I'm launching a podcast with one of my best mates, a guy called Will, who used to produce on Absolute and is now producing at Fix Radio, and it's an idea we've had for a while. And I figured, lads, I reckon podcasts are really going to take off. Yeah, I know at this stage they're kind of like not many people are listening to them or anything, and like certainly no celebrities or no big comedians are doing podcasts. So I thought if I get in there early, before the industry really kind of like follows suit, that'd be really good. So
all will be revealed soon. Dan. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming on episode 6 of the Sharpside podcast. That is everything from us this week. This will be out. This will be out today, Thursday.
Will be out.
Yeah, at 12 p.m. So yeah.
I've been Jacob.
And I've been Thomas. Thank you so much for listening. Check out all our social media at the Sharpside podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram too. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Sorry, and YouTube as well. And all the best bits will be on our social media pages. So just search up the Sharpside podcast and we will be there. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
The Sharpside podcast with
Jacob and Thomas.
Thank you for listening.